History has colors. Lifestyle, culture, climate, and other facets of nature. The town had been around a long time, so the colors had built up. Compared to Tokyo, where the new noticeably replaced the old capital of Kyoto was rich in color. Alongside the grouping of buildings referred to as the city, remains of the old town had taken root in language, historic landmarks, and even nature. People referred to that as tradition. The older a land is, the more the colors mix, resulting in richer hues. That's why Kyoto's scenery was so beautiful. However, Mai Zenin knew it wasn't all beautiful. The long history of human activity had mixed good and evil, staining the land in complicated ways. Pretty colors mixed with ugly colors. Tradition and obsession, lineage and discord, sorcerers and curses. Someone capable of seeing those negative aspects could never say that this town was only beautiful. Thus, Mai found the colors of Kyoto, the shades that tradition created, to be annoying. That's why she was grumpy after returning from Tokyo. The Goodwill event went so fast. Couldn't we have stayed in Tokyo longer? She asked. The girls were inside the commercial building next to the Hachijo exit of Kyoto Station. In the summer, they usually went to a crepe shop that sold ice cream. But now the autumn breeze was chilly, so they were sitting in a corner cafe. Miwa used her smartphone to snap a pic of the heart drawn in the foam on top of her latte. Then she said, "It couldn't be helped. It was because of the invasion by curse users and curse spirits." Mai pursed her lips and ran her finger around the edge of her cup. Miwa took photos of everything, but where did she post them? It was too fast anyway. I wanted to have a chance to at least go shopping, Mai said. Yeah, and I wanted to see Marche, Nishimiya said, stirring honey into her cafe latte. The amber liquid adorned the foam milk, making it look even sweeter. Mai and Miwa were close friends, but Nishimiya was close with them too, even though she was in a different grade. In contrast to the Tokyo school, where students in the same grade hung out together, it was more common in Kyoto to see scenes like this one, with a duo of second years spending time with a third year. At a normal school, the barrier between grades is fairly high. The Jujutsu Highs, however, had fewer students, and female sorcerers were rare. At the Kyoto school, where the atmosphere was more conservative, it was necessary for the girls to group up together. That was the reason these three were so close. Where is Marche again? Miwa asked. It's in Harajuku, next to Takashita Street, Nishimiya said. Momo, I can see why you like Harajuku. I'm jealous of how the cute things there suit you, Mai said. Mai, I'm jealous of you and Kasumi. I'm older, but more sophisticated outfits look better on you two, Nishimiya said. Well, you can't have everything. When you're tall, you have fewer options, Mai said. Yeah, I hear that a lot, Nishimiya responded. I guess you have it easier when it comes to looking stylish, Kasumi. You get to wear suits all the time, and they look great. It's so unfair. I just wear them because I can't draw a sword in a skirt. And even with more options, prices in Tokyo are a bit high for me, Miwa said. Aw, it's not so bad, Kasumi, Nishimiya said. Yeah, Tokyo has cheap stuff too, Mai said. She took a sip of her coffee, savored the bittersweet taste and swallowed, and let out a quiet sigh. The black surface of her drink rippled. Then, more softly, she said, I totally sucked at the Goodwill event, huh? Nishimiya and Miwa looked startled. Aw, let it go, Mai, Nishimiya said. Nobody here was that great anyway. At least you did more than I did as Sleeping Beauty, Miwa said. I even lost my katana. Yeah, but still, Mai trailed off. Resting her face in her hands, she frowned with intense displeasure. It goes without saying that Maki fought well at the Goodwill event. She bought time against a special grade opponent and wielded a curse tool. Rumor has it she'll get a promotion. We'll probably get official news of it soon. Miwa looked at Nishimiya uncomfortably, and Nishimiya looked back with a troubled expression. Still looking down, Mai laughed self-deprecatingly. Unlike Maki, I used my curse technique to fight head-on and I lost. What will people say? Mai, Miwa said. The long-standing sorcerer houses expected results. In the old houses, the patriarchal system had deep roots. It was even worse in the big three families. They were hard on female sorcerers. The pressure on Mai must have been immense. Nishimiya and Miwa often hung out with Mai, so they had a sense of what things were like for her. But no one could really know. That's why she couldn't stop her fingers from shaking. Couldn't keep herself from reliving her disappointment. She was aware, however, that this had cast a cloud over their conversation. Mai shook her head and her features brightened. Whatever. What's past is past. Even if I had beaten Maki, it wouldn't have meant much. She's worthless. Nuh-uh. She should be in a higher grade, Miwa objected, without thinking. But when Mai glared at her, she shut her mouth, urging them to cool it. Nishimiya threw her a lifeline. Oh well. Unlike Mai and me, you defeated someone that first year who's definitely not cute. Oh, the kid with the brown hair who went down after a single headshot? Mai asked. Yeah, she called herself Tohoku's Masahiro Tanaka, Nishimiya said. Even her teammates teased her, Miwa said. What was her name again? Obama Kugisaki? Nishimiya tried. I don't remember. She was just a tough-talking small fry with short legs, Mai said. She was mouthy. Not cute at all. And she plays with hammers, Nishimiya said. Don't be mean, Miwa said, reluctant to contribute to this kind of gossip. The conversation broke off. Their sighs filled the air. Despite their bluster, they had all lost, and reliving it was dispiriting. The excitement of the baseball game on the second day had dispelled the gloomy atmosphere, but their frustration had remained. It was a natural byproduct of defeat. There had been an unexpected challenge from Itadori, but inter-league clashes between students weren't usually matters of life and death. Unlike the fight against the cursed spirits, the Goodwill Event fights resulted in feedback that they could use to prepare for the next time. The regret in the hearts of the defeated would motivate them to grow as fighters. So frustration was an asset. Toto would have liked that line of thought, but it felt like what was dominating their emotions at that moment was mere resentment. Just when their confused feelings were about to spill over in another round of grumbling, someone showed up who was clueless as to the gloomy atmosphere. Mai! A voice shouted. Huh? Hearing her name, Mai turned around. A girl was waving at her. Her hair was dyed light red, and she was wearing a beige blazer. She had the air of a normal student stopping by on her way home from school, not at all like a student of Jujutsu High. Looking at her face, Mai's frown eased. Are you on your way home from school, you? Yeah, the girl replied. We didn't have club today. Oh, right, because it's autumn and there's a break after all the sports competitions, Mai said. She seemed to be at ease with this girl named Yu. As she watched the two talk, Nishimiya cocked her head in confusion and tossed a comment Miwa's way. Hey, is that Mai's friend? Yeah, she's... Miwa began, but the other girl interjected. Sorry for not introducing myself. You're all Jujutsu High students, right? I'm Yu Makamura. I provide information to sorcerers around Higashiyama Ward. You provide... Oh, you're one of those outside helpers we call windows? Nishimiya asked. Yep, that's me, Yu replied. Oh, well, I'm Momo Nishimiya. Nice to meet you. Seems like you already know Mai and Kasumi. Well, she's more like Mai's acquaintance than mine, Miwa said. She looked over to see Yu puff out her chest with an air of pride. Yep, Mai's like my big sister, Yu said. Nishimiya barely managed to divert her face from her cafe latte before she guffawed. So, Mai, did you straighten out her tie or something? Give me a break. I told her to stop calling me that, but she won't listen, Mai shrugged. Miwa, who knew about this, jumped in to explain. She's naturally able to see curses, and Mai helped her when cursed spirits started hanging around her. After that, she offered her assistance to Jujutsu High. Yep, I owe Mai my life, Yu said. So it seems, Nishimiya said. Impressive, Mai. Mai frowned at Nishimiya's compliment. I just exercised a flyhead. That compliment sounds more like an insult. But Mai really did help me out, Yu said. And I became a window so I can help her out, too. If there's anything I can do, just let me know. Then go get me one of those scones in the case by the cash register, Mai said. Okay, Yu replied. She bounced over towards the register. Miwa and Nishimiya gave Mai matching incredulous looks. Mai, you shouldn't use her like that, Nishimiya said. But look, she enjoys it, Mai said. You are so girly sometimes, Nishimiya said. What do you mean by that? Mai demanded. The conversation brightened again in their corner of the cafe. After a little while, Mai bought everyone churros. The trio welcomed Yu into their discussion, telling her about all sorts of things, including Jujutsu High and the Goodwill Event. Then the topic of a cursed spirit that had lately been appearing in Kyoto came up. And now you're tracking that wandering cursed spirit? Mai asked, her voice low as she sipped her lukewarm coffee. Yes, Yu said. The problem started in June. There's been no apparent connection between the locations and the people harmed. Sorcerers were unable to follow any evidence, but it seems they've learned that it's a single cursed spirit wandering around and attacking people. You know a lot for a window, Nishimiya said. Assistant Manager Tanabe told me about it, the girl replied with a giggle. It recently caused a lot of damage in the area I'm in charge of. Ah, Nishimiya worried that this girl might be a little loose with information. Aside from the talent for curse techniques, sorcerers needed the ability to remain calm even in the midst of unusual states of affairs. Killing and dying were everyday occurrences. Even as they sat here, calmly enjoying their coffee. Curses were roaming this ostensibly peaceful city, seething and cursing people. Somebody could die tomorrow, and that somebody might be one of them. If you couldn't live with an internal understanding of that, you would, as Satoru Gojo might say, go crazy up here. In other words, you needed to be able to switch mental gears the moment an incident arose or an attack occurred. Even if you weren't a sorcerer fighting on the front lines, you need to stay on your guard. You didn't give the impression that she had that ability. Even Miwa, whom the sorceress had scouted, sensed something dangerous about this girl. She cast a glance at Mai, who raised a knowing eyebrow in response. You said there's damage in your area, right? Mai asked. Yep, the girl replied. If you ever see that cursed spirit, be sure to inform Jujutsu High right away. Of course. I could never fight a cursed spirit, so I'll be sure to tell you, Mai. No, not me. Tell a teacher or assistant manager. But I want you to expel it, so your accomplishments will earn you a promotion. She's got a thing for you, Mai, Nishimiya said. She seemed exasperated, but she was smiling. From Nishimiya's point of view, anyone who understood Mai's position and wanted to help, even if that person was a little excitable, was someone to be happy about. Mai waved her hand as if Nishimiya's gaze was bugging her. She didn't want to deal with the teasing. Just then, Yu checked her watch and shot to her feet. Sorry, but I gotta go, she said. Have plans with a friend? Mai asked. Yu made a point of turning and shaking her head in response to the question. No, it's work. The cursed spirit we were just discussing appeared at the Fushimi Inari Taisha shrine the other day, and before that it showed up near the Meishin Expressway in the evening. It appeared at twilight, and I suspect the next target will be around the Tofuguchi temple. You suspect? Don't tell me you're investigating it by yourself, Mai said. That's dangerous. You should leave it to a sorcerer to chase down clues, Miwa chided, but you didn't seem the least concerned. I know, but I'm only going to confirm the residuals, because I know how scary cursed spirits can be. She flashed a bright smile, then turned to face Mai. But if I ever get in a pinch, come to save me again, okay? Then she winked. Mai's eyes narrowed in exasperation. Okay, but only to pay you back for the scone, she said. Yay! Mai sighed and shrugged as Yu walked off with a joyful smile on her face. It felt like a baby duckling was following her around. So, will you rescue her? Nishimiya asked. I just said that to be polite, Mai answered. Ignoring Miwa's laugh, she looked to the cafe exit. Yu dutifully continued to wave goodbye until she was out of sight. Mai, this is no big surprise, right? After all, you helped her out once. Mai winced at Nishimiya's question. Like I said, it was a fly head. If it was just a fly head, you could have let it go. But you chose to help her. Even if it was harmless, it would be unpleasant for her to witness something so creepy. To be honest, though, I regret helping her. Mai drained her coffee, which had gone cold and glowered. I don't like it when people get the wrong idea and act all clingy with me. Nishimiya and Miwa's eyes met when they noticed Mai gazing into the distance. 1 week later, they found out that all communication had been lost with the window around K-Girls University. All right, y'all. That is section 1 of chapter 4, Advancing in the Face of Fear. This is Mai's chapter. Well, this is Mai, Momo, and Miwa's chapter, but this is Mai's chapter. I had kind of forgotten, it's been a while since I read this chapter, so I had kind of forgotten how hard this one hits, and it will be hitting hard. Couple of things that I do want to talk about in the chapter. Number 1, LOL on the Nobara talk. That had me cracking up so hard. Obama Kugisaki? She's just a small fry talking big with short legs. Oh my gosh. Don't disrespect my girl like that when she's dead. What are you talking about? Just let her come back and defend herself real quick. Jeez. She went down because of one headshot? LOL. My, what? It was a headshot. Also, the fact that Mai is, kind of like whining about Maki and Maki's accomplishments in the Goodwill event versus hers. And Miwa just goes, no, she deserves to be promoted. Like, Miwa, read the room, man. Jeez. And that actually leads me to another thing I wanted to talk about. The difference in performance between the Kyoto school and the Tokyo school during the Goodwill event. And I don't just mean in the individual battles, but also against the cursed spirits. The only ones who got suggested for promotion were Tokyo students. The only one who even kind of held his own amongst the Kyoto students against the cursed spirits was Kamo. And I don't, Are we counting that as holding his own against a cursed spirit? I don't know. He was just with Tokyo students facing a cursed spirit, I suppose. And just an FYI, I'm not counting Toto in this because Toto's already a grade 1. So I feel like as far as that goes, you know, he's been known to take on several grade 1s and a special grade by himself. So that's already an established thing. I'm talking about the underclassmen. So that level of defeat had never crossed my mind before. The Kyoto students literally went back home with nothing. I mean, Toto got a new brother, but aside from that, they have nothing to brag about. And then you think about Mai's situation. Mai needs something to brag about. Like, the Zenins require results in ways that none of the other sorcerers, except for maybe Kamo, are dealing with. Megumi doesn't give a shit. He wants nothing to do with the Zenin clan. Maki only wants her strength for herself. Kamo, he's got a position that he thinks he needs to uphold. A position that will later be taken away from him. And there was another excerpt, and I'm going to go ahead and read it real quick. Nishimiya and Miwa often hung out with Mai, so they had a sense of what things were like for her. But no one could really know. That's why she couldn't stop her fingers from shaking. That reminded me of Naoya. If you know, you know. Either Naoya or the inevitability of what it means to be a twin with a heavenly restricted sister. That hurts. Like, that hurts in a way that Miwa and Momo simply do not know. We know, but man, Mai really carried a lot all on her own. And we're going to continue to see that. As this chapter goes on, you are going to continue to see a side of Mai that you didn't know was there. And she's so cool. And she's so strong. And she's so stupid. But I love the girl. I love her so much. Anyway, hopefully it won't be so long until I drop the next section. I'm sorry, I've been MIA, got a new work schedule. Things are kind of crazy. But look forward to that, and I will see you there.